my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Ivy, your lovely spider host, and today we are working on some lovely animation stuff. So as you can see, I'm a live 2D artist. I know how live 2D works. I like animating my stuff in it, and henceforth I decided to animate one of my characters for this time of year because I felt like it would be a wonderful time of year to be able to do this. And it's kind of suiting because she's based off of Krampus, if that makes sense. So like it's like the perfect. Tis the season to be naughty because Krampus lady is coming. I don't have a name for her. I need to come up with a name for her because I don't know if I just name her like her. I don't know. I don't know what I would name her because she's inspired off of Krampus, but I don't think I'm gonna name her Krampus. I just jokingly call her Krampus lady. So maybe help me come up with a name for that. But I wanted to do an animation of her, and yeah, let's get into the video. So to start, I sketch out Krampus. Krampus lady. Here comes Krampus, here comes Krampus. So if you don't know, I come from a German heritage, so this is kind of right up my alley. I love a lot of mythology and folklore, and there's lots of really interesting mythology and folklore around most times of the years and around most holidays that we know today. Like, most religious holidays that people associate with like Christianity have come from pagan roots, believe it or not. So if you want to do your research into that, it's pretty interesting. Like Christmas originally was Yule. I believe Easter was actually originally a celebration for a goddess, if I remember. There's a lot of different like interesting like holidays that originally come from pagan roots. I definitely recommend researching into it. I don't remember everything off the top of my head, so I'm not really gonna delve into a whole lot of it. But it's really interesting if you want to look into a lot of, you know, history and stuff. Because like me, I am a big history nerd. I go into like mythology, I go into like folklore. That is like one of my favorite topics. A lot of people are like, will you ever shut up about it? No. I'm not. I'm gonna yap about it all day long because there's some really interesting history there, and I just find it really fun and cool to inspire some of my fantasy like creatures off of like mythology and stuff. So of course, if you can tell, Krampus lady is a satyr. A satyr is basically like a goat person. Like it's like they have little goat legs. At least in Greek mythology they do. It's like a little satyr goat creature. So I just gave her little goat legs and like a long tail because Krampus is depicted with a long tail most of the time. And I wanted to make a Krampus lady because okay, believe it or not, if you see my previous video about this Krampus lady, she originally was an adoptable I made that never sold. And I'm like, ooh, oh boy, rubbing my hands like an evil little fly. I have the perfect opportunity to make this one of my own characters. And I'm like, I yanked her. She is mine now. She is mine. She will forever be mine. She is my Pookie Spooky Mookie Bear. And I love her. And she's very pretty. She got me tongue-tied over here. She's very pretty, SpongeBob. For the most part, I used a chain brush. I believe it's by, it's like chains by, it's like a chain brush set by Vigalia, like brushes by Vigalia. So definitely look into checking that out and stuff. A lot of the time, I find brushes that I like to incorporate into my art style. I don't want to draw all these individual chains, so basically what I kind of had to do is that I basically made, I used the chain brush set and then I went over with my own like fancy pencil brush and stuff because, you know, it's easier for me to do that and keep it in my art style. And it gets a little less messed up because Procreate, like, the brush settings can be weird sometimes on Procreate. But I really do like the brush set, so go check them out. Go get their brushes, they're really cool. They also have textured hairstyles, so definitely go check that out as well. I made this long tail, and I only animated a little bit of it because most of it is behind her body, so that's kind of like a whole ordeal and stuff. But I separated into like multiple pieces. I'm like, I didn't really have to do that. I just kind of could have made it like one whole thing, but I wanted to separate it a little bit so it's easier for me to manipulate if I wanted to like do turning and stuff, but I decided not to. I made it a little easy on myself. Then we have the bells, the little jingle jingle, jingle jingle problem, jingle jingle. So get my Game Grumps reference, but here you go. We got a jingle jingle problem here. Sam's going nuts. Anyway. I like Game Grumps. I've watched them since I was a wee little minor. But, I'm just very attached to my silly little guys. But, obviously we have the wonderful big poofy hair that I gave her in the back. Again, I separate the hair into like a bunch of different pieces because like I kind of have to. So Krampus is also known to have like I think it's called a switch. Not like a Nintendo Switch, but it's like a little bunch of branches that basically Krampus would hit naughty children with when they were being naughty. And I gave her a little switch because she's gonna go bap bap. You be a good boy. Bap bap. No being naughty. Bap bap. And then I separated the arm and the hand and stuff, and I eventually added like a little blending into the arm. Like it's hard to explain. I go back in and I blend in the movement of the arm. Like I blend in like the arm piece, like the one that moves, into like the part that doesn't move, because I have to like separate this into like multiple layers and layer it and then blend the layers together so like it looks seamless, if that makes sense, because you don't want it to like break and then you'd be like, oh, why is there a line art thing there? It's complicated. Live 2D is complicated. If you look into separating all the pieces and stuff, you can definitely tell like, hey, yeah, this looks pretty complicated. You gotta separate it into like a gazillion freaking layers. And it gets pretty complicated, but it's actually really fun seeing it kind of come to life. So if you ever want to get into Live 2D, I recommend going over and looking into a lot of really interesting tutorials. There's a lot of really good tutorials out there. Basically, it's really fun to like animate in Live 2D. I really enjoy it. It's really fun for me. It's like one of my favorite things to do when I can. And I like, as you can see, I made this VTuber model. I love making VTuber models. It's really fun. And obviously, ignore the chesticles. Ignore the chest. Excuse the booba. I'm obviously just trying to work on the art piece and get it layered correctly and stuff, so I apologize if anybody saw booba and got jump scared. I apologize on everybody's wee little baby eyes. So my apologies. But she ended up being so pretty, and I'm very happy with how she came out. And obviously I'm almost done by this point because she took me a hot minute to get ready. And then I had to do the head and the ears. I had to separate the earring layers and stuff because you want to add physics to the earrings when the ears move. And then you also want to be able to do the face. I did the face a certain way because I wasn't going to really like animate the face as in like there would be like movement, like you see like the X and Y movement on my VTuber model. I wasn't really going to animate perspective on the face or anything. I was really just going to rotate it because she's like moving her head up and down, if that makes sense. So I just made it a very like simple face rig so it wasn't like too complicated and stuff, and I could add more parts to the face part. And it helps my brain work in a sense where it's like I know how the head's going to move, so I don't gotta worry about like turning the XY movement, because the XY movement can be complicated on VTuber models. The Z part is like the easier part. The Z part is like a rotation deformer and you just move it up and down, or you move it from side to side essentially. It's pretty interesting how I managed to make this all kind of come together. So here's the animation. Look how beautiful she is. She moving, she schmoving. I didn't loop the snow animation because I got lazy and I didn't feel like doing that and I was getting frustrated. But we have snow. Muehehehe. Anyways, to the end of the video. So yeah, that's my Krampus animation, Krampus. Um, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my process with Live 2D. It's really fun to do, and it does help kind of having this knowledge if you ever want to get into Live 2D yourself. Again, like I said, if you ever want to get into Live 2D, I suggest looking up tutorials. I am probably not the best person to get a tutorial from because I yap too much and my brain wanders, and I am not good at doing tutorials. I can try my bestest to, but I can always like maybe be guidance if like you maybe have a question on how to do something, because I'm still learning stuff. And like I said, I don't know if I'd ever do a tutorial in Live 2D. I just probably would show my process of separating parts and maybe rigging in Live 2D. I'm just not the one to be able to give tutorials in a sense. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.